Good morning and welcome to the Madtown Throwdown Q3. This is a world qualifier. I'm Skyler of What the Hex and What the Dex, since this is where we're streaming on the Mortal Realms. And with me right here is Chop as well.
I am Chop of the 3 Minute a War Game podcast, and also lots and lots and lots of Warhammer Underworld games with the crew here in town. So very honored and happy to join Skyler and bring this tournament to you today.
And I couldn't be more excited as well. So, we are actually 20-ish minutes into the first round. We have best of threes today. We have 14 players today. So we're going to have 4 rounds, 2 hours apiece, best of threes. As we're about 20 minutes already into the round, let's get into it. So we're going to switch over to the player cam.
Hell yeah, let's go.
And here we are. So, what we have at the table today is Cyreni's Razors with Rimewyrm Spite versus Domitan with Breakneck Slaughter. Now, Domitan is being piloted today by our local Zach, and we have Cyreni's being piloted by Payvand, also of the Mortal Realms.
Yes, sir.
So, we definitely had a long board situation here. It looks like home board is Cyreni that is being invaded by Domitan. I'm going to go on a limb here and assume that we had a roll-off one. We had a roll-off at the beginning of the game, probably won by the Cyreni player, given the fact that we have this longboard situation going on. So, let's see.
Yeah, I'm just catching up here.
Yeah, so the numbers in the corner, they are currently zeros, but those are going to be glory counters as soon as we get an idea of glory. I'm actually going to go visit the table real briefly here and see if we can't get fighter cards in camera view.
It also looks like we're only 1 activation in per player, or maybe 3 activations per player. Yeah, I think 3.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take a look at the camera view. In the meantime, enjoy some model action.
Yeah, and I'll do my best to catch up here on what's going on. Apologies for the silent audio while I'm pulling up some cards here, just so I can try and see. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, so it looks like on Payvand's side we have a heaving ground in play. And so for folks that are tuned in that aren't super familiar with the game, heaving ground is a domain, which means it's a permanent that will sit in play until another domain is played. And this domain basically is saying after an activation step in which 1 or more staggered fighters are driven back, deal 1 damage to those staggered fighters. And so with this deck that's already going to be pretty ping heavy, this is another way to generate incidental ping damage by driving fighters back. So just by doing what you want to be doing, you're going to be driving fighters back and doing additional damage, thereby generating some of that extra sweet, sweet glory. And just to remind folks, the stakes of this tournament, so if you're just tuning into the tournament, you have no idea what's going on, the winner of this tournament is getting a golden ticket to go play at the World Championship of Warhammer. Oh, Skyler popped in, but we're still trying to get updated glory totals and hopefully get that glory on camera, and then we can really start this stream in earnest. Apologies again for the slow and clunky start here to the commentary.
All right, so it's actually accurately 0-0 at this time.
Awesome.
And now we have fighter cards in frame as well.
And I did read off heaving ground, so we're up to date with heaving ground being the domain that is in play currently.
Excellent. I think what I'm going to ask players to do, and maybe I should do this right now, is to just flash their card over the boards, so that we can catch it real quick. Because I have a feeling these upgrades aren't going to be visible. We're going to take a look after this round to see if we can't work on the camera just a little bit to capture a little bit more of this space. But for now, for this match, this is how we're going to roll. So strap in for some Underworlds. So right now we have some heavy wounds down on Domitan and Sarpon. No, sorry, not Sarpon, Leona.
Yeah.
Sarpon is currently undamaged. And then from an activation standpoint, oh, okay, so Payvand's got, he's got tokens on cards.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so we have only got one damaged fighter over there. So this is a really interesting matchup. I want to dive into that a little bit. As we're getting our photo take. It's interesting to see how much damage is already down on Domitan. So when you're up against Cyreni on the long board, they want you to waste as many activations trying to get to them as possible. They want as many fighters in easy lineup as Cyreni herself, so that pot shots can come down from that Hammer Tide, get stagger tokens down, get wounds as well. Only seen one stagger token in play on our Stormcoven here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming then only one Hammer Tide has actually landed, so the rest is probably coming from the attacks of our Thralls, which
looks that way. And I would guess Wrangle.
And 3 damage on Sarpon.
Wow.
Sarpon has been removed. The right bait taking Sarpon out. That is an incredibly damage intense round 1. I would not expect to see that much damage on Domitan at this
especially not on an elite warband. No, that is a huge amount of damage, and pretty bad news, I think, here for our Domitan pilot.
Yeah, that is. There's a lot of game ahead. There's 2 rounds of game still to go. So that red round counter in the top left is positioned to the 1 right now. So that's Zach's item, and he's helping us by facing that easier for the stream. All right. Volume a little low. Need to hear that silky voice better.
All right.
Thank you, Madtown Hobby.
So much.
All right. I'm going to pull chat up easier to see.
I've got the volume down just a little bit there, Keith. Hopefully that sounds better.
Oh, I think you were saying turn it up.
Oh, turn it up.
But we are a little nervous about the background noise. We don't want to overshadow anything going on here.
The air cycler in this room is very loud.
All right, so we have end phase scoring coming out here. So we're seeing eager for the fight from the Domitan player, or from Zach here, as well as fastest around. So Zach jumping ahead to 5 glory off of that. I'm going to go ahead and call Zach our left player if you're a viewer at home. So you're going to see that 0 climb up to 5 here for Zach. And Payvand is scoring as well. I think I'm spying Never Punished Me and scored. And he's up to 5 as well.
We also have some upgrades purchased by Payvand there.
All right.
Looks like Boots of Warding on Sephinir. And so that's that fight. So Sephinir is no longer going to be able to be damaged by lethal hexes.
Might only be 4 for Payvand.
I'm spying 5 here
5,
in the blue.
2 spent. Yeah,
5,
2 spent.
All right, and as I said, so this is the first game. We're going to make some slight adjustments for improvements after this first game. For example, we're going to make sure that end phases get flashed to the camera here, or any scoring. So I think if any card being played or scored ends up over the board, just even as a flash, we'll be able to run with it. So as long as the boards will always be in view, a card gets flashed in that manner.
Yep.
And then maybe even
Plus
like
there's half a board not being, or a whole board.
I would say like even just tap the fighter that's getting the upgrade.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be great.
All right, so it looks like Soul Sky Lantern out on Cyreni, and that's telegraphing a little bit what Payvand's going to be doing this round. He's going to be probably trying to get Cyreni onto objective 5 there in the middle of his board.
Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and call the left Payvand because that's where his home board is.
Sure.
And the right Zach.
Yep.
And they're both at 5 right now, so
Yep.
that all works out great.
Yep.
Time to kick everyone else off the Wi-Fi. Stream is starting to lag.
Oh no, we're on a hard connection.
This is the... Well, so the hard connection is actually being supplied by a mobile router.
Oh, so we have a MiFi.
Yep.
Got it.
So this is the best that we've got going. I did have the stream running in the background as well. We've gone ahead and pulled that down.
I do have something I can do to help though.
Thank you for calling that out in chat, very
Yep.
much so. All right, and I am pulling up their deck list on my side to add to the commentary. So they're still prepping for round 2, it looks like here. I haven't seen tokens flip.
Nope.
Or round counter reset. Brian, as the TO, might be talking to them at this point in time. So today, you know, as a result of having 4 rounds of play with 14 players, we will see an undefeated victor go home with the qualifier ticket today.
Sure, we sure will. Mathematically, we will. Last round.
All right, looks like the round has kicked off. And so we have a charge coming in from one of our thralls here. 1 hammer versus 1 shield. So that's getting blocked.
No problem for our tanky boys.
And that was against Leona there. So Leona lives to find another day. Gonna go ahead and assume Payvand won roll-off. Chose to go first to try to bring Domitan's numbers down to 1. All right, tokens are getting flipped. So we're in power here.
All right.
Oh, so we got a mantle going on to... I can never remember their names. Is that Ringglaive?
Ranglaith. Yep.
Yep. All right.
And so the Soul Siphon Mantle is a +1 wounds. So we're just extending the health to 4 on Ranglaith there. I will say this is a really innovative deck from Payvand. I've been looking over it and just, I mean, I've never not been impressed with Payvand's play. He's always a very, very strong player, understands, tries to get at the root of the game systems that he's playing in. And so I'm not surprised to see such an innovative ping deck coming out of Payvand, but this thing is chock full of ping and defense. Just good ways to keep his fighters around and do tons of incidental damage. And we're seeing the result of that now with our Domitan player. We got Zach, only 2 wounds left on the table right now. It's a little scary.
Very much so. Oh, so you'll notice the ham tokens that have made it to the board. Those are momentams.
Momentams. Oh, perfect. Perfect, because we have Breakneck Slaughter, so you got to get some momentam out on the board.
Yep.
Love that.
So we have...
I'll have to give a high five to whoever came up with that.
That Zach for sure. And it's a result of picking them up for Skinnerkin, his other main
for
right
his
now.
haunch counters.
But he decided that they were going to work for both and do momentum.
Perfect, I love it.
All right, so we have a charge on Cyreni herself with 1 hammer there. Cyreni has been removed.
Wiped off.
That is going to be huge.
That's massive.
Oh.
So all of this sort of smack talking I was doing is huge.
So we have a bounty, so we're going to uptick that to 6 then.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Lost Without a Trace has just been scored by Payvand.
Wow, like I said, this deck, very defensive. Like defensive tech, even when he's losing, he's winning.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so Lost Without a Trace, what's interesting about that card is it can score on, let's see here.
It says, score this immediately after a fighter was taken out of action
Oh, an enemy
by
fighter.
damage dealt by your warband's power card. If that fighter was an enemy fighter and the damage was dealt by a friendly domain, gain 1 additional.
So we got the wrong without a trace there.
Oh, I do. Whoops.
No worries. So
Oh, this is lost without a trace.
Yep. So it's because in power there he was able to pull Sarpon or Domitan off the board.
Got it.
So lost without a trace being an enemy fighter is taken out of action in no one's or enemy territory.
Okay.
There. So just double checking our glory counts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Payvand's at 7. Excellent. All right. Very cool that they're adopted very quickly, showcasing what they're tossing into play here. So Savage Ferocity just came into play onto our Sephineer. So +1 nice to this fighter's range 1 and range 2 attack actions. And we're hugging Leona immensely here.
Yes, we sure are. We got double support.
So that's going to be a
wow.
So we were looking for smash there, so that is just the crit.
Just
and
the
a
crit.
crit does come into defense.
Oh, the answer of can you roll a crit?
What? Am I wrong? He was removed. Why was he removed? That must not have been from Sephineer then. Oh. The attack was not from Sephineer.
Got it.
The attack was coming in from one of the thralls.
Okay. It would have had to have been Reglaith.
Well, hold on.
No, Sephineer's on hammers. Oh, no. It could have been either of the thralls, it looks like, actually.
I see. Well, that's a blunder on my side. I forget that Savage Ferocity, although featuring Sephineer, it does not solely go on Sephineer. Yeah, so
Okay.
So, that was a crit and 2 hammers coming in. That makes a lot more sense.
Wow. That's a heck of a roll.
And I believe game was just called.
Yeah.
So how that's going to work, we are using the Italian glory differential system.
Okay.
So that is a 7-0 win to Payvand there.
Okay.
Is how that's going to play out. All right. So that allows them to jump straight onto the next game. And I'm going to go ahead and take our counters down manually here. So we're at 0. Well, I imagine we're going to see squared up boards or some sort of favorable offset for Domitan at this point in time.
Yep.
Now that...
Yeah, definitely not another long board.
So when you're up against the long board with Cyreni, I find it's really interesting if you have 3 or 4 models because there are 5 lanes in the long board.
Yes.
And so you want to guarantee that there are 5 starting hexes across each of those lanes. And then you want to deploy only a single fighter per lane.
Per lane.
Because if you double up at all, what you're saying is hey, Cyreni, go ahead, and regardless, you're going to get one of me.
Correct.
Like, even if I win the roll-off and I move first,
Yeah.
I'm only moving one of these out of the way unless I have some sort of power trick to that I lucked into. But now you're wasting your power trick when you could have just deployed across 4 of the 5 lanes.
I see.
Or 3 of the 5 lanes in Domitan's case. So a lot of the time you want to spend your round 1 like advancing forward and weaving just out of whichever lane
That
she's
Cyreni is
currently
currently
focused on.
in.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just closing in on that player, putting the pressure on. If you don't score anything in round 1, that's okay, because likely Cyreni is not scoring anything as well, or very little. And so what you're gaining is you're gaining pressure. You're starting round 2 off in a better positional advantage. And that is its own reward when you're up
Indeed.
against Cyreni.
Indeed.
So I think there's a clever way for me to actually just reset these counters. So I'm going to try to do that real quick. Boards are looking in frame here for us, so that's good.
All right. I don't know the names of the boards, so I'll need some help with that. But it looks like.
Oh, that is a skill I do not possess.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But what we have here is a very aggressive board put down by Zach so that he can deploy right up in front and get into Payvand's face as soon as possible. And Payvand has chosen, perhaps wisely, to offer lethal hexes up. And so we've got a lethal hex there right up in the business in the front of it.
Yes, we do. But not at the moment.
So we're rotating the camera.
Mhm.
We can choose the camera.
Cool. Do they have they been better about legibility?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're much better
Absolutely.
Alright, that was timer for game 1.
Oh, perfect. They're on pace. That was our TO. Brian is TO for the event. Getting that good practice in as our world judge of last year for one of the world judges of last year for Warhammer Underworlds. He's hoping or expecting rather to be a judge again this year. So with that in mind, he was excited to be the TO for the World Qualifier for the event that would be sending somebody else to Worlds. So
I can't express how hype I am about us being able to send one of our locals to Worlds. I feel like our scene is incredibly strong. If you looked at Adepticon, the top 10, there's like 7 of us, right, in the top 10 at Adepticon. So I'm very excited that we got this Worlds ticket, and it's an immense honor. So big thanks to GW too for making that happen for us as one of the more active communities.
absolutely. And I want to shout out our traveler real quick. So Jake, who is now writing for the Goon Hammer blog.
Oh, amazing.
He is now their lead Underworlds writer, if you will, and has big plans to keep the content flowing in that direction. Has 3 articles out already, one just out a couple days ago. He has flown in for the event, so got a chance to meet him last night. He saw a lot of the behind-the-scenes work to make this happen today. So we're going to make sure that tonight, after this is all done, if people aren't too tired, and we'll make sure people aren't too tired, that we have a nice after party, and thank him kindly for coming up and being a part of it. So we have a mulligan here from Cyreni. So Cyreni is tossing 4 upgrades and Deadly Wards here. Deadly Wards is the domain that is going to turn your starting hexes and objective tokens or feature tokens, I'd have to look it up specifically, into lethals. So that was really the only trick that he had without glory spend there. And then we did see the objective mulligan from Zach.
Yep.
I didn't quite catch what it was.
So he threw in Eager for the Fight, Need for Speed, and I'm looking to see what the other one was. I think it was Heavenly Alignment. Nope, that's not right. I'm not actually sure. Oh, I do know. It was Knights Triumphant was the other one in that mulligan.
Were those all end phase then?
Yes.
Yeah. Knights Triumphant was probably the only one of the. I think that was probably the most reliable glory in there. Eager for the Fight. Now that he's got the long board, now that he's selected boards himself, more opportunity to do so, but no opportunity to surge during there.
No opportunity to surge, which is the rough part. And both Need for Speed and Eager for the Fight require him to really get in close.
So
touch base with the rest of the tables. About half the field is finishing round 1 still.
about half the
Game 1.
field is finishing game 1 at the 40-minute timer.
Yep.
All right. We've thrown curveballs at Zach and Payvand, and they are ahead. Mind you, I think Zach would have liked a little more time in that game.
Game 1. Yeah, that was a pretty rough one.
Bobby and Jared are ahead. Further along than them, they're well into game 2, and we look like we might have Connor with Rippa Snarlfang taking game 1 against Phil.
Ooh,
Amazing.
Against Skinnerkin.
Yep.
Wow.
Nice work to Connor. All right, so lots of local action happening.
All right. Sue. Oh, that was the I'll roll to see if you have to.
Yep.
So Zach has a decision right now, so we'll see if he forces Cyreni to go first or if he takes it himself. What do we have for a lane here on Cyreni?
So Cyreni,
she does not have visibility
anything. Yeah, she's not
on a
looking at
target.
anything right now.
I think I make Cyreni go first here.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a huge opportunity to make Cyreni use their first activation, because they're, I think, it's pretty uncomfortable in terms of what they would be doing to score any surges at this point, right?
Agree. Oh, if there is anybody wondering what's going on with the mat behind the boards here, so that is from the board game Eclipse.
Eclipse, yeah, it's the Eclipse second edition, Matt.
And the goal was to be able to give the players pretty good idea of what would be in frame for them. So we've actually got kind of like the stitched edges here of the mat on either side. So we're doing really good on width. I'm kind of hoping after our first set of games here that we're able to pull it back just a little bit yet to get a little bit more of the area that's directly in front of the players here. But that is the goal of the Eclipse mat.
Confirmed, Connor took the game by 2 glory.
So
All right.
our Ripa's player, Connor, one of the youngest at the event,
youngest.
just took Phil's Skinnerkin down in game 1.
So one of our best players.
Yeah, and by 2 glory. So Ripa's, what is Ripa's paired with? Oh, I should have asked. We'll get the pairings all to you as we're going through here. But I am at this moment not sure what Ripa's is paired with. I'm going to assume Breakneck Slaughter though. I think
That seems correct.
We have a
yeah.
lot of Breakneck Slaughter here today. I think it's a send off to the deck. Did you see the nerfs that came in against that deck?
I did.
I wanted to see it hit. I think that it was overly prevalent in the competitive scene.
Yeah, I think you were seeing it more like 50%, right? It was like a huge, and also it has a really high win rate in
Yep.
competitive, which is another problem.
Yep.
So.
And I think so you have 2 design levers there. You have you have reliable end phase glory or
Yes.
reliable scoring in general.
Yes.
That is giving you high payouts for something like Eager for the Fight, something like Rapid Strike for very little effort.
Correct. I mean, if we're thinking about specifically a card like Eager for the Fight, that's exactly what a warband that's going to pair up with Breakneck Slaughter wants to do anyway.
Exactly.
So it's almost glory for nothing.
I would agree wholeheartedly. Well, and then the second lever would be taking, so you have an aggro deck, right?
Yes.
And you're giving it this reliable payout. Second lever, when you're doing something for aggro, is boosting those threat profiles. And the reason I called it a threat profile here is because I'm talking about threat range as well. Like how far can they move, as well as how many dice are they going to get, how much damage are they going to do. While we're boosting the attack profile, here's some extra damage. Here's some extra dice. We're also giving you a momentum that increases your threat range.
Right.
So I think both levers are just we're a little forward.
Yeah. All right, so this is cool here. It looks like we had something scored there. I couldn't tell what it was, or maybe it was an upgrade. Either way, we've got Sephineer coming up, which is, I think, a pretty obvious choice, right? Because Sephineer can just kind of nope out if the situation gets a little dire. And also where Sephineer was placed was almost going to guarantee that Cyreni was going to have a lane. Although she still doesn't, so we'll see what happens. All right, so we've got Inspiration here.
So when Sarpon inspires, Sarpon allows him to push another fighter. Let me check the range on that. I think it's a friendly fighter and his choice of. I'm not sure if there's a range off the top of my head. Fighter cards. Well, with how long it's taking to load this fighter card, I hope the stream is coming through all right. Use this after this fighter is inspired. Choose one friendly fighter. Yeah, so no range limitation here. Push the chosen fighter 1 hex. So he was able to use that to push Leona, I believe, is what happened here. I kind of looked away.
Yeah, and Sephineer did indeed
Nope out.
Nope out.
All right.
Oh, hunting ground or
Heaving
ground.
ground
Again, and we do have a stagger token out. It looks like so. Going to be relevant.
Going to be relevant indeed. Trying to get my bearings here.
Yeah, you're good. And it looks like it's on Leona, right? That's who the stagger is on? No. Yes.
All right. So we just had a charge from either Renglaith or Alethir. Hard to tell from this view. You can tell kind of by the pike position. So we've got
Double
two
hammer.
hammers, so that's going to be 2 successes there.
A dodge, so no good.
All right, so we're seeing damage onto Sarpon there. 2 damage.
Looks like 3 damage because we have the push and we're pushed and we have the damage from the
I
heaving
see.
ground.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah.
And that is Alathyr. I can see now from this top-down view what we're looking at is Pike in front. It's going to be Alathyr for viewers at home. Pike behind. It's going to be Renglaith.
All right, and so we've got a counter charge here.
From Domitan coming in. So this is a 2 hammers, 3 damage attack here. With cleave, which is gonna matter.
It is gonna matter.
And that is
it's
crit success, so there's no blocking that. So
blocking,
that's
that is just boop dead.
If Headcracker was in this game, he would have just awarded Zach the primacy token.
Indeed.
Brian, welcome to our huddle. Anytime you want to give an update, feel free to come up.
Just come up
on
behind
over.
us so you can give updates.
So the mic will
and
get the
we'll
update as
react to
well.
them.
Yeah, so it looks like we have a mirror match between Headcrackers, between Bobby and Jared.
Are they both running Breakneck Slaughter?
Correct.
And it
As
is-
it currently stands, it's 4 glory each, with 2 fighters down each.
a perfect mirror.
In game 2.
Game 2.
We love to see
How'd
it.
game 1 go?
That I have not
Well, Headcrack is one.
figured out.
Headcrack is 1. I got you.
Headcrackers won, but
With Breakneck Slaughter.
one does not look pleased.
Understood. So Connor, with Rippas, what is the Rippas pairing?
That I am not certain. I would guess. I have guesses, but I'm gonna guess Breakneck Slaughter. But
That's our guess as well.
Yeah, but I can verify.
All right, that'd be great. All right, so it looks like Leona just received a card benefit.
Sorry.
I'm not quite certain. We'll see some sort of
Yeah.
ramifications here shortly.
Trying to share the stream here.
Oh, awesome. I thought maybe you were checking to see if it was working well. I hope it's working well. Chat, let us know
That I may also do.
how your viewing
Yeah.
experience is going. Kaylin, thank you for the well wishes. Kaylin wishing everybody here good luck. All right, so I think we had some time thinking with cards in hand, but we're on to the 3rd activation here. So we have Renglaith coming forward.
Same objective, so maybe that's relevant. I haven't looked hard enough.
So that
at
was a
the deck.
successful attack. So we're seeing 2 damage come down onto Domitan. Heaving Ground is still in play.
Still in play.
So I believe that's going to be an additional damage.
Indeed.
Just received.
Oh, just received.
Just received the stagger token.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that does put him in line of Cyreni, and there is a charge token on Domitan.
Oh no.
Domitan's stuck in that position. Sarpon is not going to be able to inspire right now and move him out of it.
I'm gonna check our gambits to see if we have any push tech.
Now, what could happen here is if he hasn't played past the mantle yet, that's going to allow him to inspire one of them on demand. So he can take his turn now, inspire a new fighter that isn't Sarpon, right?
Re-inspire Sarpon for the push out.
As his first power.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess it wouldn't even need to be his first power, but he could.
So he
potentially
could
do
have
that.
passed the mantle for a trick here.
Yep. All right, so Reckless Charge coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
For this attack, we have Leona.
So we got 2 momentums coming down.
I
and we're
apologize, that's not Leona, that is Sarpon, but yes.
And we're gonna get 1 extra dice for this attack. We got a
Whoa.
crit success there.
All right. Stephanier, to my chagrin, does not have 2 defense dice until inspired. But it looks like they might have missed the inspire and just gone ahead with it right here, probably one of those sportsmanship moments of, yeah, that's okay. I probably wouldn't have changed what I was going to do. I still want to make this attack. All right, so
still
it
good.
does.
See ya.
It does go through. All right.
Follow up on the previous stuff. So, Rippa's is paired with Tooth and Claw
Oh, fascinating.
Okay.
into Skinnerkin Void Curse Thralls.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Tooth and
Rippa's-
Claw. Giving Gnarlwood a little send off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rippa's took game 1 by 2 glory. And then on the other table, Bobby versus Jared, Headcrackers, Breakneck, Slaughter each. And apparently game 1 was a slaughter fest. Headcracker got taken out immediately on Bobby's side, making it 10-1 for game 1.
Ooh.
Game 2 is closer, but Headcracker is down for Bobby.
Oh.
So it is
Bad breaks.
Bobby has Daco and Tooth Dagger remaining,
Mm-hmm.
and Jared has Headcracker and Tooth Dagger remaining. And that one's closer. That one's 10-8.
Okay.
Okay.
8 for Bobby. So
All right. So it looks
a
like we're
bloody match.
If you see a moment to gently ask Zach and Payvand, I don't want to mess with their game flow too much, but if you could gently ask them to toss Glory in a way that we can see it.
Yep.
I know they're not at 0-0 right now.
definitely not. Yep. So it looks like we had a spell from Cyreni there. This is Payvand's last activation. Looks like he's scoring.
Get moving.
Get moving.
Would you read aloud Get Moving here?
I sure can. So Get Moving reads Surge Hybrid. Score this immediately after an activation step if each friendly fighter has one or more move tokens, or each friendly fighter has one or more charge tokens. And so we do have charge tokens across the living fighters, and so that's a really, really good 1 glory surge for Payvand. All right, it looks like we're at 1-2.
1-2. All right. So literally just the bounty.
Yep.
And our card scored here.
Yep.
Excellent. And we just got a thumbs up from the TO. That was Brian hand modeling for us.
Okay.
I bet
So what do
it
we?
is going to be a strong relief seeing Hunting Ground leave play here.
Yeah, big time. We still have 1 activation, I think, though.
I think so too.
So we've got 1 left coming from Zach. So is Zach charged out currently? No. No, it does not look like it. So it looks like Leona is probably going to charge. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so Leona with the range 2. The question is of whether or not we're going to see spell dice or not. But we are going to have a charge onto Cyreni here.
Yeah, regardless of what Zach chooses, it's going to be a 2 damage attack. So we're going with hammers.
Hammers.
All right.
All right, that's 2 damage onto Cyreni. Oh,
And a drive.
and a drive. Yep.
Yep. Drive back.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
just to push her out of the hammer tide.
Yep. So we had potential risk on Sarpon there, and Sarpon is vulnerable.
Yeah.
So pulling that to safety.
Yeah. Love to see that. And we've got
Inspire here on Domitan,
yeah.
which means he has access to use this after this fighter is inspired. Stagger each enemy fighter within 2 hexes of this fighter.
And if we look, Domitan's got a really clear move to be within 2 of both of them at the top of the next round. So if Zach wins the next roll off here for initiative, I'm guessing he's going to go right next to, is this objective 5?
I think so.
He's going to go right next to objective 5. I don't know who he would choose to charge, but I think he will charge there and will stagger each of those fighters.
Well, so that stagger trigger was just right now.
Oh, just now. So
just
it's
now.
only.
Yep.
Okay,
so
got it.
within three.
Within 3
at
so-
this time.
So just Cyreni.
just out. Yeah. Just outside that bubble.
I see. It's only when it's inspired. Got it.
Oh, Mind Erosion made its scoring here, and Rapid Strike here in end phase, as well as Oh, a card with the Loon Court on it. That is not ringing a bell for me.
I'll get us sorted on that.
Thank you. So Zach coming in at 5 in end phase here. So Rapid Strike in round 1, only needing 1 fighter down. He did the extra work. He had 2 fighters down. It would even score to with the new errata, which is not in play at this event. Our change cutoff was August 3rd, and unfortunately that errata only came out a few short days ago, which just means we didn't get a chance to see it here, but or like in effect, because we want to make sure that players have healthy lead time to have expectations in practice. So Thunderstruck was our 1-pointer here. Score this in an end phase if 3 or more enemy fighters have 1 or more wound counters and or are out of action. So you have wounds on Cyreni when he successfully made that attack and shoved her out of Hammertide's way.
Plus our 2
Plus
out.
our
Of
2
action.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Easy point.
Live casting Underworlds. What will they think of next? Comment from chat from Ben.